Hey, thanks for checking in on Bathtub Sir, and welcome back to Pyre. We are working our way up Mount Elodial for the final time. We're on our way to our very last liberation rite. The Commonwealth is in flames and its ashes are raining down here in the downside, and things are all a bit grim. This is it, I think. I really believe that. I get a strong sense of finality with this episode, and I think now all we have to do is potentially face Orelek at the top of this mountain. So let's continue our journey and see what the game has in store. So we need to go to Scribe's Gate now, or do we get the choice between... No, we don't. Oh, this is it. We just go straight to Scribe's Gate. Okay, only the worthy may pass through the gate. Let's do it. I mean, do we get to choose? Oh, cool, we got a messenger scribe. Forget about that. Right, a messenger imp with news and rumours from the other side manages to track down your wagon in the sheer cliffs of Mount Elodial. The imp's latest information is about none other than Tizo, who you liberated at the Fall of Solium. Everybody says he's the first creature of his kind to come to the Commonwealth. Cool, that's what I wanted to do. It's a pity we may have thrust him into like a burning city though. That's a bit depressing, but maybe he's alright, we'll see. While this unique status brought Tizo no shortage of prestige, he nonetheless experienced difficulty acclimating to the new environment. It seems that he grew quite despondent. Oh, that's not good. Then, at last, he managed to track down Volfred's agents, with whom he is working to find a means to bring more exiles home. Thus has the revolution grown stronger. Okay, good to hear, just needed to find some pals. He also left for you a special verbal message via his most trusted messenger, who rears up and intones "Scree he him," which means Tizo wants you to know he's doing well, but misses you and hopes to see you again. Well, I hope that may be possible soon. You thank the messenger imp for the report and ask that it relay your kind regards. Your companions soon begin to talk in turn. Very, very bright, that one. Would have served well as our familiar. Perhaps someday yet it shall be so. I'm so happy for him. I wish I could have had a friend like him when I was there. You did it, little one. You'd scarce believe how long our Tizo toiled here in the service of the Nightwings. He deserves his peace more than us all. That's what I was thinking. I shall look forward to our next reunion, Tizo. Perhaps when we are back among the stars. The news of Tizo's adventures in the Commonwealth fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. We gained +1 hope. Brilliant. Wish Tizo luck. We do. I hope he's okay. Seems he was like, what, a little homesick maybe? The downside is he's home, right? But it's definitely not the Commonwealth which is his home, although it is now. So hopefully he's become accustomed to the ways up there, and hopefully he doesn't get set on fire. You stand before the Scribe's Gate of your companions. The Gate Guardian is there as ever, but you sense something different in her. The exiles of the Nightwings. We shall not meet again after the coming rite. Tarek and I. It should be time we take our rest, I think. Greetings, Celesti. I would tell you that the Nightwings are prepared, though this time I am uncertain anyone amongst us feels thus. We have a duty to uphold, Tarek. And then what, Celesti? And then nothing. Not for the rights or us. Not till the dawn of a new age. Now, Nightwings, step forward. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. One by one, your fellow exiles approach her, now with sureness in their step. May I speak first? My name is Faye, and I'm here because the scribes. This is the path that they've shown me, and all of us. I like it when they call to me. We are called Big Bertrude. We seek to fulfill the plan of Sandalwood, for we are fond of him and his beliefs, and then to go about our business. My name is Volfred Sandalwood. I long as yet to see an age where freedom is one's birthright, and no longer are good people such as these forced to contend for it. Finally, you step forth once more. You, a common wanderer who longs to regain his freedom, and who managed to come this far with this group. The Gate Guardian observes you for a moment, then motions past the archway towards the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Except for you, Tarek. You stay right there. I thought you said... The rites are not yet ended, Tarek. He looks to her, then over to the rest of you. Pardon me, everyone. I shall be there when the stars align. So there's literally no chance of Tarek ever being able to come with us, is there? Definitely not. His place is here, unfortunately. The Gate Guardian and the Lone Minstrel remain together as the rest of you depart. I can imagine Tarek's face. Please don't leave me with her. It's strange that we didn't have to give a reason on why we wanted to cross the Scribe's Gate. I mean, it suits me. I didn't want to fancy making a choice there in sort of fear I'd make the wrong one. But she just sort of let us go over. So that's good. You have gained the summit of Mount Elodial for the 7th time. The final time in which any one of you shall have a chance to leave the downside. Wow. It's going to be crazy. And no one wants to talk in the wagon. Can you believe that? Alright, commence the final liberation. This is it. Bloody hell. Okay, so who will we liberate? It's got to be Faye, surely. You have gained the summit of Mount Elodial for the 7th time. Very few stars remain above to light your way as you await the commencement of the final liberation rite. The Lone Minstrel finds you clutching the Book of Rites, seeking there, perhaps, some bit of wisdom that has eluded you thus far. Reader, we may not have a chance to speak again after this. I may have to go. I wish to say that I am grateful for having made your acquaintance, and I shall remember you with fondness. I wish you well, this night and always. Go forth with glory. Oh man, this is going to be quite sad. He's like, he definitely can't come with us, so he's sort of like, how can I put this? He has to come back when the stars like align again, and he has to always, does he have to find another triumvirate to travel with? I don't really know. He's such a mysterious figure. Then he looks up and he extends his hand in friendship. You clasp it. Hell yeah, Tarek. You see Bertrand has joined you. All of your companions are there with her, in fact. Reading one. Thou art both wiser and less irritating than most others of thy kind. Thank you. We have learned something from thee, and we are grateful. Oh, hi, mister. The others, they said they wanted me to join them and come talk to you, so here I am. The scribes are watching us. It is strange for me to say, given the circumstances of our meeting, reader, but it has truly been a pleasure. Onward, now. Let us achieve our plan. You look upon your fellow exiles, your companions, with whom you have withstood the downside, and with whom you shall now conduct this final rite. Begging your pardon, but my time has come. We shall see each other soon. And then never again. He departs. After this night, the outcome of Alfred's plan, the plan of which you all have been a part, shall be decided, one way or another. Oh my god, this is big stuff. For now, all you can do is strive to prevail against your final adversaries, so that one last companion may go free. You rise to join your fellow exiles as the last remaining stars ignite. Let's do it. Let us stand together. Jesus Christ. I don't know who to set free. I mean, what if Volfred is able to be liberated? Do we pick him? That's something I haven't sort of, thought about. I just figure it's going to be Faye, because Bertrude doesn't even want to leave here, does she? She likes it in the downside, in her swamps. God, this, I don't know if I can deal with this decision. Volfred would make a lot of sense, because he is sort of the in charge, isn't he? Of the plan, at least, the revolution.
Upon the fall of Solium, dear reader.
He's calling us dear reader again. Maybe he likes us.
For one last time.
Gladly.
For soon the few remaining stars shall fade away, leaving you stranded there for your remaining days.
Oh god, that's depressing.
In that forsaken land where you deserve to be.
No, we don't.
The rabble that you roused here in the Commonwealth shall be put down. The exiles whom you liberated, all shall fall in line. But first, let us get on with this last liberation.
Okay, if you say so.
Face none other than yourselves. Each so unlike the glorious Nightwings of yore. 'Tis a shame that one of you shall soon be free.
Oh, shush.
For you deserve each other.
The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. But before, the Lone Minstrel can concur as per the custom. Not another word. Oh god, it's Aurelek. Of course he's here. The demon Aurelek slowly raises his clawed fingers to his mask. Look at that face. It's like really cool looking, but so spiteful looking as well. The false Nightwings have arrived at last. Long have I awaited this. My freedom once was stolen from me. Then I was cheated of it, here, upon this mountaintop. You may now attempt to take it from me once more. He stands there for a moment, silent. Then Aurelek dons his mask and stands prepared. May these damned rites cease forever, for the misery which they caused. Wow, he's very angry. I mean, we've never really seen Aurelek not angry. Nightwings, we shall not meet again after tonight, for the cycle of the rites is all but ended. Thus, I would have your decision. On whose behalf shall you encounter this or conduct this final liberation rite? The one whom you anoint, or else the exile Aurelek shall be returned. Godspeed, reader. You know what is at stake better than I. I have utmost faith in you to make the best decision and conduct this rite with glory. Nightwings! The star's remaining glow grows dim. Your decision, please. Oh my god, who? There's only one option. Surely, it is now time to choose who. If anyone among you shall go free this one last time, The rest of you shall remain in the downside to the end of your days. One by one you meet the gazes of each of your fellow exiles. Bertrude, Faye, Volfred. Oh my god, I think we can send Volfred. Your fellow exiles, your companions, your friends. Together you have come this far, but now the downside and the rights conspire to tear your group apart and disrupt your plan. Are you prepared to choose this one last time? I mean, how can we say no? The fate of your friends and the Commonwealth may hinge. It seems both cruel and unfair to have such to make a decision. Is there no other way? I guess we got to choose. How could we not? And it'd have to be Volfred for the good of the plan. With but a glance, you reassure your fellow exiles that you know what to do.
One final opportunity
Oh
for
my god.
salvation. Too bad for the rest of you.
Could be Faye. It could be Volfred. Or it could be Bertrude. I don't see no other option here than choosing Bertrude. I mean, Volfred. Oh my god, not Bertrude. How could the plan come together if not for Volfred? I really hope he's not like a huge villain after all this time. And if we win the right and he goes back up, like we've just put an evil leader on his throne, surely the game wouldn't do that to us. It wouldn't betray us so badly, would it? I'm going to have to go for it. We're going to choose Volfred. Volfred shall regain his freedom. Ugh. Long have I dreamt that I might someday see this plan of ours come to fruition. I promise you that I shall make the most of it, if we are to prevail. I trust him. I know it sounds like silly, but I really do. Your choice is cast. As for your other companions, you sense a clarity of thought and purpose in each of them. They stand ready to support Volfred, as well as you.
Who shall strive for him?
There's no sort of question, is there, Faye? Blessed are the scribes, who grant to me and all of us this final chance, that we might free our dear friend, Volfred. And finally, big old Bertrude.
Bertrude.
Come on, Bertrude. Thy will is ours, reading one. Let the remaining stars shed their light upon our ceremony here.
It is done.
Those are to be my adversaries then. And who is it, I wonder, who asserts his will over that group? Oh, me. You sense Aurelic searching for you, almost reaching out to you. You, the shadow of the false Nightwings. They are nothing to me. But you who would relinquish his own liberty for sake of them? Strange. It is fitting, then, that I should have to face one such as you. Then Aurelic stands at the ready, signalling for his two allies to do the same. By light of dawn, the cycle of the rites shall cease. Let us see if we can finish this ordeal before that time. The sky above begins to shudder. The final liberation rite is about to commence. Tarek! I am prepared, Celeste. Then let our song this evening shake the stars themselves. Aye, Celeste. Let's make sure of it. Wow, it's going to be an awesome banger then that we're about to play. You know what, I am going in on this one. Take that, Aurelic. Oh god. Oh god, okay. We need to be careful. Who's got the thing? There we go. Faye, can you get it? Oh wow, they caught up with me very quickly. Go! Yes, we took out that thing. Did you just throw it to me? Oh no, 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 this is bad. Come on. Yes, good Volfred. Go, Faye, go, go, go. Okay, you need to get your stamina back. Oh, I don't know how we're going to do this. This is too tough for me. Go, get in there. Oh, man. Alright, Bertrude, you get in there now. Nice. Oh, she's got a moon crest equipped, that one. Oh, nice. This is good. Go, 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 Bertrude. Oh, no, we've missed it. Jesus Christ, this is tough. I'm not liking this. Points are taking far too long to score. Oh, wow. What a horrible tactic that was. No, we've lost it. Oh, crap. First point to them. That is very bad news. You wear the raiments once again. I could not simply stand by and do nothing, Aurelic. Yet, that is what you did. When we last stood together on this blasted mountain, I felt. You simply stood. Aurelic, what shall it take for you to be convinced? I took no part in your betrayal. Aurelic seems to consider the question, but only for a moment. Give me my damn freedom. Let me prevail, here and now. Would you promise to uphold our plan? To bring about a better Commonwealth? No. I make no promises. I owe you nothing. Then, I am sorry, Orelek. My love of country comes before all else. More than your freedom and our friendship is at stake. Your love be damned, Volfred. Let us stand as adversaries then. Okay, we need to get back into it. I'm very scared, guys. I think I may lose. Look at this. We're playing like arse. Come on, come on. Can score. Yes, where were they all? Oh my god, they have 140 as well. Our back is up against the wall. The sky rains ash. Soon shall your pyres own mingle with them. Just then, the skies above begin to rain down fire. The final throes of the cycle of the rites and the ending of the age. No, what are you doing? I do not like that. What? I'm sorry, what? That is not fair. Whatever just happened there. The game has it out for us, it seems. Jump! No! Oh god, there's actually like meteors, I think, falling down. Okay, come on. Come into this little ball. Yes, idiots. Oh my god, thankfully we've got a really good score there. Brought it back within 7. Okay, come on. We left it too late?
Wherever went old Orelek?
Come on. No, 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 no. Oh god, that Tizo-like enemy is really, really kicking our ass. Alright, we've got the middle lane sort of defended there. No! Dropped again. Oh crap, this is not good. This is not good at all. Thank god. Okay, come on Faye, you're gonna have to do this solo. Jesus. The Tizo every time kicks our ass. No!
Thrust straight into your flame.
Bollocks, this is so bad, guys. This is really bad. I don't know how we're going to beat it. All of you, you shall rot here. You shall rot as I have all these many years. You, false nightlings, who would deny me once again my rightful liberty. You, who deny that liberty to all of the triumvirate you face, and vanquish under the guise of the traditions of these blasted scribes. Come, let's continue with this glorious affair. Dude, please stop talking. I just want to score. No! We need to do something about this, but I have no idea what. Yes. Go, 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 Faye! Please score. Oh. 20. Alright, it's close again. Within 7. That feels like a good tactic. Yes, we took out both of them. Come on, Bertrude. No! Oh my gosh, she regains her stamina so quickly, that one. Right, come on, that's got to get her. Where is Bertrude? No, no, no. Bad news. We need Volfred back quickly. Oh my god, I can't deal with this pressure. Yes! We've taken the lead. Oh my god, we need one more Bertrude goal. So the false Nightwings bear their fangs at last. But that cannot be your finest effort. You think you deserve your freedom more than I? Then fight for it, damn you. I'm scared, like, very scared. He's got to score! Oh! Yes. No! Come on, come on. Take it. If that little one flies, then we are bollocks. Uh-oh. Not good at all. Catch it, catch it! Yes, we got it. Oh no, we're stuck. Yes! Oh my god! We need one more! One more! Orelek stands, breathing heavily. He looks back on the thin lick of flame that is his smouldering pyre, before turning his attention back to your triumvirate. He's mad. He's very mad. Come on, we can get both of them there. Yes! No! No! Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Oh, it's over. Shit. Okay, they still need 2 more. We just need 1 more. Go, go, go! Oh my god, we just lost 2 players so quickly. Oh, no, 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 it's over. Who's got it? Oh, bollocks. I am so scared. Its next goal wins. I can't believe it. We need to be careful. Your Pyre's flames now threaten to die out at any moment. Aurelic makes a sound, like laughter, but says nothing as he prepares one last assault against your side. We've messed up. We've ruined it. Yes, we can get an awesome win. Oh, thank God. We did it. Jesus Christ. That was the closest right of our lives.
Nightwings proved their worth.
We did it. I can't believe it.
They surpassed their adversaries in the end.
What a way to finish.
The liberation rite.
Talk about bringing it down to the wire.
The scribes have chosen.
Volfred, look at him, all dressed in white and gold. He looks amazing. Praise the scribes. We've done it. You look upon Volfred for what you expect shall be the last time you see each other. Any moment now, the Shimmer Pool shall engulf him. Any moment now, he shall return to glory and join his agents in the Commonwealth to help achieve the plan. Any moment now, the cycle of the rites shall end, until at least the dawn of a new age. Any moment now.
And thus, the scribes have chosen. And thus, the scribes have chosen.
What's going on?
And thus, the scribes have chosen.
Bowley boy, what's wrong with you?
Oh. Nightwings. Reader. What have you done?
Shit, don't tell me we've made a huge mistake. Hold. There's something wrong. Each prior time upon the Fall of Solium, the Shimmer Pool has opened following the Liberation Rite and taken in whichever exile prevailed. But now, all is still, and the light of the stars above has all but died. You sense a growing fear that it is already too late, that the Shimmer Pool shall not reveal itself again. Aurelic approaches, his head bowed. The 8 scribes saved their greatest treachery for last. Then, something else catches his notice. Wait. A sudden rush of starlight cascades through the stillness of the summit. The Shimmer Pool has appeared again, different somehow, but open. A horrible feeling that's going to kill whoever steps in there. Volfred looks upon it, but it does not engulf him, or at least not yet. It seems I was mistaken then. The 8 scribes. This is not their greatest treachery. It is their greatest jest. The Shimmer Pool is flung wide open. It seems that all are worthy now of freedom. What? Are you sure? No way. All of us. You gotta be kidding. Aurelic strides towards the Shimmer Pool, but... Halt, Aurelic. Aurelic glances over at the lone minstrel, almost in surprise. The Shimmer Pool has lost most of its strength. You step inside, and you shall surely drown. Of that I can assure you. He laughs to himself at this. Then, we have all been cheated. No, the Shimmer Pool is revealed, and one of you may still return, as planned. But, as for who returns, someone shall have to choose. Ere the last light of the stars is extinguished, and the rites cease to be, this is the final trial of the scribes. The final trial of the scribes. Then, our confrontation, the liberation rite, it was all meaningless. What? You telling me even if they won this would still happen? My God. No. The victor of the confrontation is to be the one to make the choice, among those closest to the scribes. Either the anointed, or who anointed them, or he who anointed them, so I could go. So, then, the choice is mine to make. My freedom, weighed against the reader's. Is that it? Oh, Volfred, you gotta let us go. Aye. It shall be either you, the reader, or... It shall be either, or. Volfred, please make your decision quickly, lest it shall be forfeit. I do not know for how much longer the light of the stars shall offer you this gift. A snap decision, then. Or decision. Fine. I have made it. Reader, my boy, this chance of freedom that we've earned, it's yours. Take it, now, and make good use of it. For you, and for all of us. What? He's letting us go free! Oh, Volfred, I could kiss your big bark head. That is amazing. Volfred wishes to give up his freedom so that you may regain yours. Very well. Reader, sir, the choice which Volfred made, or rather, the choice which he gave, is now yours to make instead. This choice, It may keep bouncing back and forth like this? Absurd. It may, until such time as one of you is willing to accept the burden and the outcome of the choice. That is the trial. And I fear that there is little time remaining now. Oh, reader, if you and your companion are too cordial with each other to accept that freedom, either one of you, then I shall gladly take it. Freedom ought to be more than some flirtatious trifle to exchange. Reader, what is your will? I think we have to get out of here. I mean, Volfred he's really gone above my expectations. I feel bad for every sort of slight and wrong thing I thought of him. Maybe he is a really nice dude. Oh god, I think we have to choose ourselves. I really do. This is your chance and Volfred wishes that you take it. I still think the Shimmerpool may kill us, but I'm gonna go for it. Your mind is made up. You have chosen to be free, yourself. I see and understand. Then it is done. Volfred looks to you this one last time, his heart filled with unspoken understanding. You turn then to the lone minstrel for an instant, but another instant later. He is gone. He and everyone. All you feel is the coldness of the rush of water coursing all around you. Volfred gave his freedom so that you may yet have yours. May we return in glory. I did not see this coming. Oh my god, I'm overwhelmed. What do we look like? We're tiny. We're a star.
No stars remain aloft. The cycle of the rites. It is finished. The Commonwealth. What shall become of it?
Don't cry, friend.
What shall become of us?
Pyre 2? I don't know.
Nightwings. The opportunity to gain your freedom from the downside. Was it not enough?
Oh my god, so what? Have we turned into a star? I kind of hope not. I'm going to see what the Commonwealth's like. I want to see Hedwyn. I want to see Rookie. That is a pretty good looking star though. I knew it would make a fine looking star. That night, an exiled reader returned to the Commonwealth. He was to be the last. The stars had faded and the cycle of the rites had run its course. He found the Commonwealth in great upheaval. Spurred by the efforts of 6 liberated exiles, Volfred Sandalwood's revolutionary plan had incited the masses. These exiles and the starless sky portended the return of the scribes. The people surged into the streets, shoulder to shoulder. Led by the 6 exiles, their voices shook the heavens. The leadership of the Commonwealth panicked. No blood was shed that night, and by dawn, it was over. The leaders of the Commonwealth had cast themselves back into exile, or joined in this new cause. Thus, in its 838th year, the Commonwealth had fallen. The new Saharian Union declared its sovereignty in the next year. Among the changes its elected leaders ushered in, they vowed never to cast their people into exile, and they abolished the old Commonwealth decree forbidding literacy. Hell yeah, people can read again! Beautiful! Oh, that's kind of like the biggest win. Today, we still remember all of this. And we remember the exiles of the downside whose deeds led to the dawning of our age, whether they returned or not. Look at this beautiful character collage, all of our friends and even some of our enemies. I think, can we see, what happens if we do this? The imp called Tiso was the first of his kind to achieve liberty through the rites. While he was not the only imp trained in the way of the scribes, imps are native to the downside and thus care not for travelling abroad. This made them useful to triumvirates. Yet Tiso had a different calling, and the Nightwings believed that he too could play a key part in Volfred Sandalwood's plan. During the night of the scribes' return, he stood out to the populace as something of a miracle. They had only heard of downside imps before from the legends of Ha'uk the Swallow. Afterwards, he became something of an icon, representing both the fall of the Commonwealth and the beginning of a new era. Volfred Sandalwood would sometimes send him little gifts, all the way from the downside. Oh my god. Despite the insurmountable distance between them, their friendship proved more than resilient. He often chirped about the reader of the Nightwings, with whom he built quite a rapport. The reader understood him perhaps better than anyone. And Tiso would often express wistful gratitude for all his time conducting the rites, alongside the Nightwings, who made such sacrifices for him. Other than that, Tizzo was diligent about his role as something of a living artifact, and helped interpret for the messenger imps that relayed news to and from the downside. Despite having gained significant celebrity status, he never let it go to his head. Although he did take full advantage of his access to the Saharian Union's fishing industry. That's what it's called now, yeah? Our nation, Saharian, beautiful. So that's Tizzo, and then he disappears. Oh man, this is going to be awesome. It's going to take a while, but we're going to see how everyone got on. Ah, what a beautiful reward for finishing the game here. Hedwyn, how you doing, buddy? After his liberation, Hedwyn was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth, and was vital to the outcome of the plan. The peaceful outcome of the Scribe's return was attributed to several key factors. One of them was the underlying ambition of the plan itself. Another was Hedwyn's visibility among the people in the streets. Identified to be a liberated exile, he is believed to be Golgothanian reborn. More importantly, however, was that one of the winged harps of the Highwing remnants accompanied him. She was later identified as Fakani Shang. Who's that? A harp for whom Hedwyn cared deeply. They were separated when Hedwyn was exiled. It must be his wife. Their bond was symbolic of what was at stake that night, and proved vital to the peace that followed. In all his days as a leader in the Saharian Union, Hedwyn often confided in his friend Jodoril. Despite her intense manner, there was no one whom he trusted more in times when circumspection was required. Hedwyn would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all of the friendships he made, he had pledged to Jodoril, Rookie Greentail, and the Reader of the Nightwings that they may all be free again, together. His promise had come to pass, though he always knew that this was not his own doing. He was always deeply grateful to the other three, his closest friends. While the others who stood with the Nightwings were not able to remain in contact thus, Hedwyn thought of each of them often, and so, in turn, did they often think of him. Oh, that's a bit sad, I didn't keep in touch. At least he kept in touch with Jodoril. Okay, so Gilman? Why not? Wait, we could have liberated, what's her name? I can't remember her name, but you know, the scribe trial lady. Sandra. Okay, so Gilman. When the worm Gilman returned to the Commonwealth, he believed that he had regained something even more important than his freedom, his honour. Gilman relinquished his knighthood and declined an opportunity to serve as captain on the Blood Border. He was not interested in fighting any longer. Yet, as it is sometimes the case of those such as he, a circumstance soon came about in which there came a need for him to once again make use of his military training. Thankfully, however, the scribe's return ended peacefully. Gilman was on edge throughout that night, expecting violence to erupt at any moment, but the moment never came. When the matter was at last put to rest, and Gilman truly knew that his time as a knight had ended, he declared to all those in earshot that he would never fight again. Unless, of course, there arose some other extraordinary set of circumstance, again requiring him to fight, but he certainly hopes not. He still trains regularly, just in case, especially when his fleet-footed friend with Rookie Greentail. He was always grateful for the counsel of the Reader and would regale him over and over about the time they squashed the spawn of the unfathomed plans. By that point, he had long forgotten about his days under the leadership of Sir Deluge, his former commander. Breaking free of his abusive leadership was his first step towards gaining a bit of self-respect. Gilman never did return to his homeland of the Sea Dominion and was content to lead a monastic life on a small residence in the hills. It was just high up enough to make him keep striving to conquer his fear of heights. Other than that, an intense daily training regime and the occasional visit from an old companion was more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then that honour was not something to be won, but a contract with oneself to be renewed each day. Beautiful! Oh, I'm glad he hangs out of Rookie. Shall we see how Sandra's doing? After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, records of what happened to the Black Wagon of the Nightwings became inconclusive and contradictory. Some accounts suggest that the exiles of the Nightwings who remained in the downside continued to make use of the Black Wagon as their place of shelter and their means of travel. However, there is no record of what happened to the wagon's contents, such as the Book of Rites or the Beyond the Crystal, said to be haunted by the apparition Sandra the Unseen. One possibility is that, when the lone minstrel took his leave, he took the Beyond the Crystal with him, for he was thus obliged. By this line of reasoning, however, the Black Wagon itself should have been taken also. Others remain skeptical that the Beyond the Crystal ever existed, or rather, that the visions that it granted were anything other than the result of an active imagination or a fever dream. The bog dwellers of the southern bogs offer still another explanation, for they are familiar with binding enchantments. If there existed such an object in which the Sisters of the Arch had been expelled for more than 800 years, then the enchantment could have expired along with the light of the stars. What this would have meant for Sandra and the Beyonders is difficult to say for certain, other than it may have meant that they were finally released. Nevertheless, the fates of Sandra and the Beyond the Crystal remain unknown. Yet, those exiles of the Nightwings who claimed to have seen this apparition all spoke of her with degrees of reverence, or perhaps a little fear. Yeah, she was sort of a bit of a hard ass, but we liked her. Now, shall we catch up with Rookie? I think that'd be a good idea. After Rookie Greentail earned back his freedom, he returned to a lavish welcome ceremony in the Commonwealth, as was the tendency for liberated exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off surrounded by luxury and choosing between various exciting opportunities. However, he must have given in to his better judgment, as he did end up siding with Volfred Sandalwood's revolutionary forces, as he promised. On the night of the scribe's return, Greentail was there with the others, inspiring the masses. He never looks prouder, the very image of Jomur Many Mane himself. When dawn finally came and it became clear that everybody knew would be no more, that makes sense, he realised many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career for himself, manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by the downside. His main struggle was to meet demand. An aspect of his conscience cautioned him against making light of such a thing, but the money was too good, and soon his family was as well off as he always said. One of his orders of business was to seek out one of his old companions, Pyre, to whom he took a liking during their quest for freedom. They bonded further over love of drink and supported one another through uncertain times that lay in store. He also kept in close touch with Gilman, yeah we know that, ever the perfect practice partner. They would train together often, taking care to stay in tip-top shape as much as possible throughout the years. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all his many friends and knew that he owed his fortunes to them. He made a special point of staying close with the group of friends he came to know so well during his time with the Nightwings, whatever they were. They shared a special understanding that put even Greentail at a loss for words sometimes. That's cool, I'm glad he hit it off with Pyre, that makes me happy. Now Faye, she's our first sort of member to remain in the downside, so how was life for her? Long after the rite had ended, Faye admitted that she knew well before the fact that she would not be going home again. At least she had a very strong feeling. She ended up not minding very much because she had little to return to in the Commonwealth. Her sense of home had changed. She took to wandering from one celestial landmark to the next, ever paying homage to the 8 scribes who she believed had influenced all that transpired. She was no stranger to travelling alone, but was always happy to have company. Through it all, she would wonder how her little friend Tizzo had fared. While they were divided now by a great distance, he always remained in her heart. Though they could not see each other any longer, Faye often thought about Jodoril and spoke to her as though she were there. Faye tried never to make a decision without first consulting her idea of what Miss Jodoril might say. One day she encountered one of her former adversaries, one called Alma Oldheart, who had served the Fate. She remembered him much more than he did her, though only just at first. Their shared experience in the rites and their different points of view about the scribes formed the basis for what grew to be a long-lasting relationship. Hell yeah! Fate was always devoted to her faith, but more so to her friends. Her gentle manner and unwavering conviction often helped them brave life in the downside, both with courage and with grace. So she found, companionship with Alma, this dude? Oh, happy for her, very happy. Jodoril, how are you doing? What I don't get, actually, is if we now have the Saharan, whatever it's called, why don't we just let all these people return? Isn't that what one of the aims was? I don't know, but we'll keep reading, despite my mouth getting incredibly dry. After her liberation, Jodoril soon became an icon of the movement that led to the collapse of the Commonwealth and the rise of the Saharian Union. Her horns and stern countenance inspired the people to believe that she was Sullian Mur, reborn. She became a great if reluctant leader. In the uncertain times that followed, Jodoril's seasoned expertise often came into play both in matters of security and of state. For instance, she conscripted and trained a team of volunteers in public safety. The community did not know what to make of such a cordial bunch at first, but soon came to value their service. What, like a police force? They have stood for the people ever since, and we celebrate their founding day each year. She remained close with Hedwyn all through this experience, and they supported each other through their struggles many times. She often had to stop herself from fearing for Faye, whom she tried to look after as much as possible on the downside. Soon she would reassure herself that Faye was very capable of surviving on her own, and in fact she was not mistaken. She continued training on her own, a regime that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her, and she sometimes obliged. There remained one other constant in her life. She would always remember her days among the Nightwings, and with fondness for the most part. And that's sweet. Pyre, we can hear about her and Rookie some more. After regaining her freedom, Pyre found herself in a difficult position. Having once betrayed her people of the Hiring Remnants, she knew that she would not be welcome in her native home. She did not trust the Commonwealth either. Instead, she found her place among Volfred Sandalwood's agents, who were busy doing their part to fulfill the plan. As it turned out, the plan was a success. Pyre stood shoulder to shoulder with her other fellow former exiles, and truly they were a sight to behold. A disturbing rumour later spread that night the Hiring Remnants were slated to mount an assault, which for some reason never came to pass. Pyre denied any knowledge or involvement. I bet. Afterward, Pyre played an active part in negotiating terms between the Hiring Remnants and the new nation that would become our Saharan Union. Her previous attempt at something of the sort led to her exile. She must have felt some satisfaction to succeed this time around. Sometimes later, Pyre had an unexpected run-in with Rookie Greentail, with whom she had spent a fair amount of time while travelling with the Nightwings. Under these new set of circumstances, it turned out the two had more to talk about, and rather more in common. They would often put to test which one was able to outdrink the other. It is unclear as to which one of them prevailed in that contest in the end. One day, Pyre received an invitation to return to the Highwing remnants, where she was to be fully pardoned. She held out hope that she might see her blood sister Tamitha there, knowing full well that Tamitha did not regain her freedom. Tamitha did later learn that Pyre was welcomed back by her people. However, she never responded to her blood sister's attempt to contact her. Pyre, in turn, did not expect forgiveness from her at this point. Nonetheless, she kept on trying to reach out, she said, to ruffle up her feathers just a bit. Later, when asked, Pyre then admitted she felt as though she had no home to call her own. This was during an interview conducted amid an extensive trip abroad, for she had travelled thousands of leagues beyond the bounds of the Saharian Union. Pyre continued to journey thus, citing that it reminded her of when she was younger and could fly unfettered. That's a bit of a bittersweet ending for Pyre, not really a cheerful one. Bertrude went back to the other witches, I guess? Several exiles of the Nightwings cared more for the plan of Sandalwood than to return home from the downside. The crone called Big Bertrude was a prime example. She had found a suitable environment to live, within the dismal region known as Flag in Hands. There, she had built up a thriving place of business known to many exiles in the land. With the rites having ended, she returned to her preoccupations, working away almost as though nothing had happened. See, I figured that. When one gets to be more than 400 years of age, perhaps then even monumental events such as the culmination of the rites or the collapse of the Commonwealth are seen as trifling matters. Much of her effort was doubtless due to the influence of Sandalwood, someone whom she had admired now for decades. He had made clear that he could not requite her feelings for him, but what could have been a hurtful dismissal led only to a deeper understanding between them. By and large, Bertrude kept focus on her work. Whether casting small enchantments or imbuing talismans, the work brought her a sense of purpose, she would say. In the Commonwealth, such services were strictly forbidden, but in the downside, there was a real need for simple luxuries, which the competing slug market could not always provide. Thus did Big Bertrude continue to live up to her name, and the tales of her days with the Nightwings made her that much more the living legend. Alright, well, she seems happy enough. Should we do Ron now? With the rights drawn to a close, the slug market's revenues fell precipitously, and Falcon Ron was forced to liquidate his assets and close up shop. Oh no! Yet, as is sometimes the case of those of an entrepreneurial leaning, this time of hardship led to an epiphany, or at least a sudden change of fortune. One day, Falcon Ron had a run-in with a messenger imp bearing news from the other side. Ron gave it to one of his remaining trinkets, which could not be sold. The following week, the messenger imp returned to him bearing a tidy sum of wealth in newly minted coinage from Saharian Union. Falcon Ron cut a long-term deal with the messenger imp then and there. Though his trade remained a grey area from a legal standpoint in Saharian Union, the newfound fame of the downside caused Falcon Ron's goods to explode in popularity. He later signed an elaborate agreement with Big Bertrude's and found a distribution partner on the other side through Rookie Greentail, whose own business had expanded. Especially in Saharian Union, Falcon Ron's goods are still known for their superior quality, though he assumes no liability for any side effects. And why am I not surprised? Okay, Volfred, this should be an interesting one. When the cycle of the rites ceased turning, Volfred Sandalwood turned towards the starless sky and closed his eyes and prayed. It was all that he could do at that stage of his plan. He aspired to assemble with liberated exiles representing each of the 8 largest ethnic groups composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as a vision of the 8 scribes returned, inspiring the masses to embrace an older set of values from before the Commonwealth had tightened its grip. With the rites ending sooner than expected, this ideal scenario became impossible. Sandalwood's own freedom, for instance, was now forfeit, yet the plan did have contingencies. Fortunately, most of these contingencies did not prove necessary. Word reached him that, on the night of the scribe's return, his fellow liberated Nightwings stood together, and their voices echoed through the streets. These former exiles who ought to have disappeared into the ranks of the Commonwealth's own leadership now stood united with its people, who poured from their homes in solidarity. It was imperative to Sandalwood that this stand against the Commonwealth be peaceful in its nature. An overwhelming show of popular support would be more than enough. Ensuring that this was his priority, and in the end the result was self-evident. The plan's goal had been achieved. Sandalwood kept busy after that, as much as possible, providing counsel from afar to those who would be at the forefront of the birth of the Saharian Union. Of course, being stranded in the downside meant there was only so much he could do. Of course, there's no way they can get back to the Commonwealth, because you have to go in that huge beam, the Glimmer Pool. Okay, so that makes sense why they couldn't be rescued. Resting assured that the future of the nation was in capable hands, he turned his attention to the remaining exiles of the downside. They might never return to that new nation, but at least they could experience its triumphs and its struggles in some vicarious way. So he took to his old work, writing and printing. As literacy began to spread again throughout the Saharian Union, so too did the exiles of the downside take to it. For his part, Sandalwood helped to teach as many as he could. More than that, he provided the material to read a semi-annual report about the latest events, both in the Saharian Union and the downside. This periodical gave many exiles something to look forward to. He enjoyed exchanging letters with the reader of the Nightwings, who kept him well abreast of how their other comrades and the fledgling nation fared. As Valfred Sandalwood gained more fame throughout this land for all his sacrifices and his contributions, it is said that he remained steadfast about two things. The first was that this cause itself ought to remain in focus, the freedom that the people had achieved. It was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles of the Nightwings who had stood with him each in turn by name. He never forgot any of them. One day, to commemorate his birthday, the people of the Saharian Union unveiled a monument depicting him and the Nightwings as imagined in their prime. While Sandalwood did not learn of it till much later, it is said that he was moved to tears then by the gesture. It has since ensured that those of us with memories more valuable than that of Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of his fellow former exiles and our cause. Wow, that was a long one. Well, it seems he's okay, old Volley boy. Tarek, the Lone Minstrel, what would happen to you? I'm quite intrigued about this one. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, the Lone Minstrel bade the remaining Nightwings take the Black Wagon and seek their fortunes elsewhere in the downside. The parting was heartfelt but brief. He remained there at the summit of Mount Elodie with Celeste, where the two of them would chronicle the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tarek nor Celeste were ever seen again. We know all this now through the song attributed to them. Some claim these songs originated in the taverns of the Saharian Union and merely were imbued with weight of folklore. However, the exiles liberated from the downside corroborated each other's claims at having met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggests these minstrels were heralds of the scribes. Having fulfilled their obligations, they departed the world we know and rejoined their patrons. One of the famous songs describes another, simpler outcome, that the two gave up their duties to the rites in favour of a life that they could share together. In any case, they are likely to remain the subject of such verse and such songs, for it was they who watched over the rites and ushered in our times. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad that they went off together. Now, we can work through all the people who didn't quite make it, our adversaries, so we'll start with the big one, Orelek. Or should we start with the little ones down below? I think that may be better. As the cycle of the rites drew to a close, it grew evident that a chance of freedom from the downside had forever slipped from Dalbert and Alma Oldheart's grasp. Thus, they and the exiles of the Fate returned to German Valley. There, they struggled to get by, as exiles of the downside tend to do. Sometimes, after the rites had ended, the old hearts at last heard the news that the Commonwealth had fallen. This was well after the fact, of course, but it brought old Dalbert great joy. Despite his forthright manner, he had no love for the nation that cast him down, along with his son. Dalbert Oldheart passed peacefully in his sleep before the next new moon. See you later, Dalbert. Rest in peace. In his final days, he implored his son to undertake a pilgrimage to the scribes. Alma never shared his father's view of the scribes, but respected Dalbert's wishes, and so, after a period of mourning, Alma began a new journey. One day during his travels, he ran almost headlong into another exile after paying homage at the Spring of Jamur. He was stunned to find this was none other than one he knew as Faye from their days as adversaries in the rites. Faye was overjoyed to see him, though Alma wasn't able to bring himself to understand why. Eventually, of course, he did, and they remained together, growing ever more accustomed to their new lives in the downside. Not a day went by that Alma Oldheart did not think about his father and give thanks to him, and speak to him at morning and at night. Would that the stars yet shone, for surely Dalbert's would be there among them, smiling down at his son and watching over him and his kin. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad that, Alma seems to have lightened up a little bit. Okay, Lendl. After the final liberation rite, Lendl refused to believe that the rites had truly ended. Oh god, he went potty. He would sit through the night after consecutive nights, staring into the blackness of the sky, awaiting any kind of sign that he might gain another chance at freedom. No such sign ever came. His fellow accusers started to express concern for him. Survival had become their top priority once liberty had slipped from their grasp. But Lendl dismissed them as weak fools. He insisted, rather forcefully, that any evening now, the stars would shine for him again and mark the way towards his inevitable freedom. He was, of course, mistaken. The others in his triumvirate were left with little choice but to abandon him. After that, the exile known as Lendl the Liar was never seen again. However, there has since been sightings of a bedraggled demon who wanders the downside and bears Lendl's cruel countenance, suggesting yet he lives. Oh god, that's a bit of a dark one. And who are you again? Oh yes, Admiralty, I hate your name. After the cycle of the rites had ceased, Admiralty returned to the Flagging Hands region, where she sealed herself within the Pit of Melif. There, even her fellow exiles of the Withdrawn allegedly grew unnerved after a time and left her to her vile work. Sometime later, the Pit of Melif erupted into flame. So intense was the conflagration that it could be seen all the way from Jamur Valley. Arson was suspected, though the cause was never verified, and many bog dwellers in the region were forced to flee. A tempest blowing from the north finally quenched the flames. When at last the ashes settled and the grounds had cooled, the site of the fire was scarred beyond recognition. No trace of witch and mild heat could be found. As for the contents of the Pit of Melif, which notably included the profane object thought to be the remains of the Slatch, all of it was gone as well. Back in the Saharan Union, Admalte's repeated threats of return of the Slatch were thoroughly investigated, and no credence was found to any of her claims. Good. Did she just blow herself up then? What a dope. Okay, Sir Deluge. All his life, Sir Deluge had fled from one danger only to find himself facing another. He had escaped the war-torn waters of the Sea Dominion, he had escaped the blood border of the Commonwealth, and now he had escaped the rights. After the rights had ended, many exiles wrapped up in the ancient test were crestfallen, as their last chances to return to their homes vanished, along with the stars above. But Deluge did not mind, for this outcome meant that, at last, there was no burden of responsibility weighing down on him. While most of his fellow exiles of the Pyre hearts yet longed for the waters of the Sea Dominion, driven as ever by their impulses towards conflict, Deluge settled down. With him remained one of his companions, one Lady Seagrass, hey my man, who had taken a liking to him for some reason, for some strange reason, that hair. Reportedly they disappeared into the waters of Worm Gulf, which may begin to explain the significant increase in worm population observed in the vicinity. Hey-oh, well done Sir Deluge, my man. Good lad. Okay, and Ashpore. Barker Ashpore? That's your name, right, isn't it? You little punk cur. Barker Ashpore's never had much interest in returning to the Commonwealth, for he always found its bylaws to be stifling. So, when the rights ended, he did not care, at first. He soon grew very bored. The rights had given his life a certain sense of structure he had always needed. He missed the raw anticipation of it all. He decided to continue conducting the rights for the thrill of it. He bent some of the rules and replaced some of the objects, but it was close enough. His packmates, the dissidents, proved more than happy to participate, and thus they ran against each other back in Jamur Valley. Gradually, other exiles familiar with the rights, as well as those who had not heard of it at all, started to take an interest. They ended up giving Barker Ashpore some healthy competition. His old feud with Rookie Greentail ceased meaning anything to him, and he forgot all about it amid his new pursuits. Ultimately, even Barker Ashpore, who had led such a directionless existence to that point, found something of a calling through the rights. Whether he took the rights less seriously than any other exile of his time, or more, was oft debated by those who watched him work. Oh, good lad, so he's essentially created a sport out of it. I wonder if he's like mega rich in the downside. Let's see what became of poor old Tamitha. Throughout her exile, Tamitha Theon was motivated by a single goal: to return to the Commonwealth and exact vengeance on her ancient enemies. When she realised the rights had ended and that she would never see her mounting home again, she nonetheless remained determined to aid her people wherever possible. She had gathered certain information pertaining to the intentions of the Nightwings, who had formed a pact to regroup on the other side after the liberation. Other such reports exposed certain weaknesses in the Commonwealth defences and revealed to the Highwing remnants the opportunity for a risky but potentially impactful strike. As Tamitha could not participate in the assault, she learned what happened well after the outcome. On that night, known as the Scribe's Return, the Commonwealth had fallen. The Highwing remnants thus prevailed, at last, without even having to fight. Soon after the fall of the Commonwealth, Tamitha learned her blood sister, Pamitha, was an accessory to the successful outcome. Tamitha was very sceptical with this, but, as similar reports kept mounting, she soon accepted the prevailing opinion, however grudgingly. Once, a messenger imp arrived bearing some sort of message, seemingly from Pamitha. However, Tamitha turned it away. She would not give in to an impulse to forgive. Knowing that the conflict on the other side had ended, Tamitha retreated to the crags of Black Basin and grew ever more distant. Those closest to her surmised that her inability to reconcile with her blood sister was at the heart of this, though for her part, Tamitha never once admitted to any such weakness. Man, she's really holds a grudge, that one, doesn't she? Oh, not this arsehole. When manly Tinderstaff realised the rights had ended and that he no longer could return to the Commonwealth through the ancient means, he was outraged. He cursed the scribes, spewing forth such a slew of blasphemy as to be very unbecoming of one of his high status and bearing. When at last he calmed himself, he focused all his energies on attempting to find another means of homecoming. He maintained regular contact with his wealthy family on the other side via Messenger Imp, and used their vast resources to explore other means of escape. He tried using an elaborate pulley system. He attempted to retrofit a flying black wagon with superior propulsion. He tried an imp raft, the hot air balloon, even prayer. Nothing worked. There was only one way to escape the downside, and now it was gone. Tinderstaff bankrupted his family in his vain attempts. At last, such was his shame that he retreated to the teeming woods of Black Basin, to Cinderroot. There he yet wallows, complaining to his comrades of the chastity who still put up with him, either about his own misfortune or the latest news on the other side. Oh good, I'm glad he had a bit of a sorry ending. Man, he spent all that money trying to escape and it was worthless. What a div. Ignarius, my buddy, second to last, how did you fare on? Once it became clear to Ignarius that the rites were drawing to a close, he knew that it was time for him and the Tempest to call it quits. But first, he and the Tempest decided to celebrate, and they did, for many, many nights. The revelry did eventually subside. The exiles parted amicably and went their separate ways, so that's nice. He roamed the downside then, searching for some meaning in his life, sometimes taking odd jobs requiring his brute strength. He never remained alone for very long, and took on many lovers in his time. Oh, of course he did, look at that hair. However, he sometimes thought about the one he had called Curlyhorns and what became of her. Oh yeah, he loved Jodoril. Through his glory days as the most powerful conductor of the rites had long since passed, he always enjoyed the fearsome reputation he had cultivated at that time. That was a nice, short and sweet one. Okay, I think we can just about make it to the end here. Bloody hell, I've never read so much in my life. My own voice sounds foreign to me, but let's not give Aurelek any less effort. Let's do it, dude. After the shimmer pool closed for what would be the last time, Aurelek looks around him, in the flickering light of the Nightwing's still burning pyre. He then turns to the Ford of Solium and looks up towards the black starless sky. He cursed the 8 scribes, then, one after the other. After that, he strode forward towards the waters coursing from the side of Mount Elodiel, and, without hesitating, he cast himself down. Wow. Aurelek's body was never recovered. The drop from Mount Elodiel does not appear survivable, though Aurelek did survive it, once. That time, however, he was filled with fury. Such was the betrayal he had suffered when his fellow exile claimed his rightful freedom. This time, Aurelek was filled with nothingness, and chose to leave the downside in the one way he knew he still could. The other Nightwings who were witness to this never forgot what they saw. Jesus. Now that is rough. Wow, we've done it. There is one more account which warrants mention. Can I just say, that was brilliant. I loved all that. I love seeing how everyone got on. I understand that may be incredibly boring for everyone, so I probably will put a little disclaimer before there that there's about to be a lot of reading, but that was such a cool way to tie up loose ends. So, the Nightwings conducted the rites under the guidance of a reader. Little is known of him. Well, he's called Bartholob, sir, and you can sub right now. However, some accounts of him begin to paint a picture. We know he was of common birth, always directionless and prone to misremembering at times. Yeah, you got that right. The journey to the downside left him close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found him. They brought him forth from the brink. He showed them the path. He pressed onward with the others, longing always to regain his freedom. Thus did the cycle of the rites commence its final turns. When the final rite arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. That freedom he intended achieved ere the morning's light. From that point on, accounts of him diverged. It is said the voice, which troubled him, he never heard again, thank God. Some say he sailed the seas for west of here, though whether that is true, only he knows. Some day, perhaps, that reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall pierce the dark of night in all its brilliant glory. Until such time, and ever after, all of us give thanks. You are more than welcome, everybody. I set you all free. I'm at a loss. I can't believe it's finally over. We did it. We beat Pyre. What a game this was. I absolutely love Supergiant Games as a studio. They are insanely sort of fresh and original. They bring something new to the table each time. I mean, out of the 3 games I've played or which they've made, you can't fault a single one. And for me, Pyre was so different, yet so good. It played for me like a choose your own adventure, but with an awesome sort of like wizard basketball gameplay element, and it was so fun. I can't believe how many different options or dialogue options there must be through the choices you make, or maybe how many different outcomes. I don't know whether all the choices you make either boil down to maybe 3 outcomes. I'm not sure. But even if there isn't a lot of choice, it definitely gave the illusion of millions of diverging paths, and for that I give it a lot of respect. I loved the style, I loved the characters, I loved the gameplay. It was a great game, and I'm sad to see it over. However, I really recommend you try it if you haven't, because you'll probably almost definitely get a different outcome than me. So if you enjoyed this Let's Play series of Pyre, please go ahead and leave a like. It helps a great deal, and I really do appreciate it. If you want to see more, we've got plenty of other Let's Play series on the channel, such as Wolfenstein 2 or The Evil Within 2. Please go ahead and subscribe and I can bring that to you. If you've got any questions you want to raise, how do you feel about that ending? How do you feel about all the characters' fates? Did you enjoy the series as a whole? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure I get back to you. Alright, see you!